Okay, so hello everyone on YouTube. This is me, Blame Others, and of course today we have.
We have Insane Spiral.
So today's not gonna be like the other videos we've done. If anybody has seen them, um, this will be a realm video for anybody who knows Realm Royale. Unfortunately, today might be more of a sadder video. So, if I'm not mistaken, it's been at least I'm pretty sure it's been 2 months at the very least since the last ROM video we kind of did. Like even just kind of like chatting a little bit about it, or we talked about ROM and doing video like 2 months ago, but I'm pretty sure it's been longer than that at this point. Um, but let me point to me saying that it's been quite a bit. Of course, it show who not it show the thing is still floating around. Pretty sure everybody knows what that is, and it's been making time just fly by. So, um, we saw a little bump in with Realm with some people coming in and everything. Um, However, things have not gotten particularly better. Just like as a general kind of like update about Realm, the servers have consistently been doing badly. They have not been holding together very well. Beforehand, in some of the other recordings of videos, or just whenever we'd play, yeah, we would have those like bad matches, but like it was never a constant thing. Unfortunately, though, nowadays it seems like it's a constant thing. Of course, there still hasn't been any new updates since the last one back in January. Um, so it's been now almost basically 5 months since the last update.
And we know why.
So just to kind of put forward, so this is basically the video where me and Spiral are kind of saying farewell to Realm Royale. This isn't because we're displeased with the game, that because we hate the game, or even particularly because we're tired of the game. It's just we can see the writing on the wall, and just stuff that we've learned and heard, as time has gone on, especially now with Corona. Well, oh no, demonetized, no. With everything. Um, so,
High res sacking everybody.
so we just kind of want to go into why this is kind of our farewell video, and just to be upfront about it, this isn't to say that we'll never play Realm if by whatever miracle they do Realm 2.0, or if they do just like some kind of huge update. Like I'll still hop on and play it for sure, but like for me, if I don't have anybody to play with, I'm not gonna play the game because I'm not gonna play the game alone all the time. Um, it just is not that kind of game. So, with that being said, let's just go into the reasoning for the realm. So, start off with when Realm was made, it was again very obvious to everybody that this was something that Hi-Rez was doing to try and just make some money off of Fortnite. That was very fucking obvious. I'm not gonna deny that. Yes, Hi-Rez was trying to just make money off of Fortnite, and I was honestly expecting it to just be one of those things where they, oh, look at what the Hi-Rez did, and then they're gonna fucking forget about it, and then they're gonna go do something else, or as they do. Uh, because me personally, I've never been particularly a fan of battle royales. I don't play Fortnite. I don't like Fortnite. I don't like PUBG. I don't like any of the other battle royale games. But I said, you know what? I'll try Realm for the simple fact that, hey, look, there's Paladin's items in there. There's Paladin's weapons in there.
At one point, there was Paladin's characters in the alpha.
So I was like, oh, neat. I'll just do that to go see what it feels like. If I get bored with it, because I tried playing Fortnite like a couple times, and it's like every time I play, I just could not get. How do people play this? Um, so I went into the game, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Again, I was playing by myself. There was not really much to do when you're by yourself in a battle royale game. Um, some time passes. Spiral's still into playing Fortnite as he always does Fortnite at the time. Um, then after a little bit, I decided to give Rum a bit more of a chance, and I said, it was kind of fun. Maybe I'll just try playing it again. They had an update or two since then. Because right in the beginning they were like trying to do an update like every week, every other week. Um, but then I went and I looked for a server saying, I don't want to play by myself because playing by myself is fucking boring, and I'm tired of having the squads, be random little Timmies and da 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 da. So then I found a server, like the public server where like, oh, hey, yeah, we play ROM here, you can hop into the party and everything. I found some neat people that were always on the server that, well, obviously I couldn't play with them all the time, but I would hop in whenever I saw them or whenever there's people who need people. And eventually I got decent at the game. And once I got decent at the game and found out that, yeah, I was having a lot more fun. I was able to do more things. And that's definitely not. I'm not saying that I would have that if I stayed with something like um Fortnite, because I know just from when it's basically just more of the same. The only thing you have to master in Fortnite is the building, and I hated the building in general, not just speedy building, just in general. I don't like the idea of building. Um, so that's how I started. Eventually, as time went on, I got more and more interested. Eventually, I got Spiral to try it. Spiral liked it, and then time kept going, and then um, obviously we see things slowing down a bit. Things started to slow down. Before anything else was said, things did start to slow down, and people noticed it. But like, we're like fine, whatever. We're still getting updates, just going a little bit slower, whatever. They actually did this with all their games, with Paladins. They did this whole schedule change with how they're gonna be doing updates. Um, but then after a bit more time, we had an announcement. We heard an announcement, and this announcement was for Sproul's new favorite game, 2020, Rogue Company. Um, this was gonna be a new high-res game produced, published by Hi-Rez and produced by a new little studio they were gonna make to, manage the game. Um, and we're like, fine, whatever. It's just a silly little Call of Duty CS:GO looking game. We don't care about it. Me and Sparrow both didn't care about it. So we're like, whatever. We go back to Paladins in our realm, and well, for me and Smite too, and other things. Again, as some time passes, it goes into open beta, and well, not going over to open beta. The game gets closer to launch day. It goes into closed alpha. It gets it gets a bit of attention. There are streamers talking about it, promotions, and da 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 da. And yeah, then that's all that's happening. But we're still over here in Realm, and this is over here. This is when the first situation happened where everything went silent for 3 months. We had the well, no, they went silent for 3 months. Then the last month,
No, because
at the end of the third month, then we had a response saying, "Oh, look at guys, we're gonna be pushing this out in a couple weeks." And by the time the thing came out, it had been 4 months. So we had that hiccup in the road, and we said, "Well, that was bad, but we got a new update out of it. That update was a mess, but thankfully they were able to fix it for the most part." Um, so we had that, and we're happy. And again, this is back in January at this point. after they fixed this. Well, back in February, by the time they fixed everything, it's about February now. So now we're in February. Supposedly, the following month,
That's when the LTM started rolling out.
That's when the supposedly next month this was supposed to be when Rogue Company was supposed to go into its closed beta. And again, we'll get to why I'm mentioning what's it called, Rogue Company in a little bit. That so then that was happening, and then basically we're at the point we're at right now, where we're all stuck at home. It's been basically 5 months since any real news for Realm. And yeah, so turn over to Sporl for a couple minutes. This was just kind of me giving background and kind of like the life of Realm, the way it's been as a real general sense. Obviously, we didn't go patch by patch, but just as a kind of overview. So, Sporl, do you want to say anything before we get into like the nitty gritty? Just kind of like the life of Realm, the beginning, you know, when we started and everything.
I mean, you know, pretty much same. Like, I obviously, a little slight difference. I played Fortnite because, I mean, I didn't like PUBG. I thought PUBG was shit. I played Fortnite because a few of my friends were playing it. And back then, like, I'll take you back to a magical time. You know, seasons 2, 3, 4, 5, those were the magic times. You know, everybody just memeing, everybody just having fun, all like that. The cube events, everybody getting together. Still got the footage of that I use occasionally in videos. You know, everybody getting together, watch the cube shattering, all like that. So I was okay with Fortnite, and Blame said, you know, because it was originally Paladins Battlegrounds and they launched it inside of Paladins. That's when you could play as the champions. He's like, hey, remember Paladins Battlegrounds? They've made it its own separate thing now called Realm Royale. And I was a bit like, cause seems like you can't trying to get the Fortnite money, which, you know, high res trend chasing attitude, they were, but you know, it was fine. It was fine. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll play. And you know, there's a lot of things you can heal while moving. You can't do that in Fortnite. You can
While you again, we don't want to go patch by patch, but you couldn't
no,
heal.
This isn't patch by patch. It's just like,
No, but I'm saying
you
couldn't
while
you couldn't
moving.
heal while
That's
moving.
not in Fortnite. That's better. There's no bloody building. Oh, I like that a lot more. So it's like there was a lot of things that was like, oh, I genuinely do enjoy this. I'm really enjoying this.
Spiral, you couldn't move originally while you were healing. They changed it. you started when they still had that in, actually. That's fine.
Well, when you couldn't move when healing.
Yeah. When you try to drink a potion, you literally got stuck in one spot.
Oh, I must have been right at the end of that then, because I hardly remember.
Oh yeah, the
only thing I remember is where like the weapons were locked to the classes and they changed that. But I jumped in like when it was the nice times, like, hey, we had some feedback and we're gonna make all these changes like heal while moving, and it's like, yes, this is good. I like this. I'm playing this a lot. I am enjoying myself more than Fortnite. This is great. You know. I liked it, but shall we go? Shall we talk about what happened?
So the next section would be this. Let's talk a little bit about High Res itself. High Res is not a huge company. It's a decent sized company, but if I'm being fair, oh boy, people are pinging me for my other thing. Hi-Rez is not a humongous company. They are not a Blizzard. They are not an Ubisoft. They're not they're not Amazon with their Crucible shitting out $1 billion and wiping their butt with the change that they can give to their developers. But that's not to say that they can't do things if they really put it in the effort. They are a company that's known, as Sproul will probably gladly say all the fucking time, they like to trend chase, And I'll admit that yes, they like to trend chase. They like to just see where they can make an easy buck, as they do. Um, to the detriment, of course, this is just to the detriment of the developers, because again, and this is, I don't think Squirrel gets this, the developer and the publisher are not the same fucking people.
No, I get it. Like, what you don't understand, I fully get. Like, developer don't get a choice. You know, Hi-Rez is like, hey, make this. But sir, everybody likes this. Everybody's enjoying this. I don't care, make this. Like, I don't blame the people on the ground floor. Like, I don't blame anybody that was forced to put the microtransactions in Crash Team Racing. I blame the dickhead Bobby Kotick at the top. I blame the man that snapped his fingers and threw 800 people out on the street despite boasting record revenue. No, I don't blame the developers. I don't blame the ground floor. I blame the guys at the top. And I'll happily blame, and I don't know his name because he's a coward. He won't say his name. I don't know who's in charge of Hi-Rez. Apparently it might be Chris, but I don't know if it is Chris. He might just be the guy running Paladins. But whoever Mr. Hi-Rez is, I will slate Mr. Hi-Rez up and down for the things he's done.
So again, for all this is done for the past and present people, especially the ones that worked in Realm, we know ultimately this isn't your fault. But again, Hi-Rez is a company that's known to kind of do these things, and they have done these things multiple times. Again, being things like Spore would say Global Gender. This is Global Gender was before my time, but I know when I first started playing the Hi-Rez games, I did look into it a little bit. That, you know, oh, this and such happens. It was a little stinky thing that they did, and da 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 da.
You don't even have to go that far back. Hand of the Gods, that was a blatant Hearthstone clone, and they shut it down within a year.
So then there was some kind of, then Smite would come out, and then they what they did to this game that they were trying to do for mobile was just like a random little mecha game. That just got thrown under the bus. Then
Hand of the Gods.
No, there was another one thing that they tried to do, another mobile game. I can't even remember the name. They did something else, or like a revamp of the other one. That got thrown under the bus. Then came Hand of the Gods, which again they threw under the bus, and it just went nowhere. Which is sad because again, I'll touch on this later when we go more directly to what's happening. That it looked good. Actually, Hand of the Gods looked good. Then we come to like the new kind of era right now. Oh no, and sorry, and then there was also the Paladins mobile thing where people said it was great. They again went nowhere. Then we come to the new era of stuff, the more current stuff being again Realm. Realm. What's it called? The
Rogue Company.
Rogue Company. I always forget the name. Rogue Company. Profit. And the new thing they just released being the Prophet, which is an auto battler. So, as you can see, I'm gonna definitely, because Sparrow likes to think that I don't like to call out Hi-Rez, but I really do. I get they do stupid shit. I know they do stupid things, and I've actually put a little bit of money in those other random things that we've talked about and other things. And it's sad. I'm not mad because I spent money, but I'm mad because I spent money because of what those games actually were. So Hi-Rez by no means is a particularly amazing company. But again, money, not only money wise, but also, you know, how would I say, like I can't think of a word for it, but they're also not like Blizzard where they're willing to throw people under the bus for China.
Yeah, they fucking are.
So maybe they're not monsters yet. They're not the same level of monster as fucking Blizzard. They're not the same level of literally fuck all our fans. Let's go do this thing because fuck you. They are definitely very, very ignorant to what they have. And at least the company itself, not the developers, but the company itself are yes, very willing to turn a blind eye to to their fans, but they're not very malicious about it. Then we come to, the real problem here. When we come to what Realm is, what it has been, and unfortunately what it could have been. So, Realm still has. I don't want to say had because it's not gone yet. It still has a lot of potential. We said this before. It has a lot of potential. Unfortunately, Hi-Rez is just really bad at seeing potential. Hi-Rez itself, not the developers. Hi-Rez itself is very, very bad at seeing the potential in their games. As Sparrow will get to his point, and he's also making a video. Hi-Rez is always in such a weird position where they make great games. They make actually legitimately great games. But they make terrible, terrible decisions with how to handle their games. And I'll let Sparrow do this more, especially because it's going to be more of his video and stuff on a separate thing that he's planning on doing. But I just want to say that I recognize that very much, that Hi-Rez is just very, very dumb with the decisions they can make at times when they have so much going for them and they don't know it. But again, just to start off, and I'll give the rest to Sparrow, basically, so he can also talk about Hi-Rez and then talk about this situation stuff. But ultimately, long story short, Realm is dying because they wanted to give birth to Rogue Company. Rogue Company was going to be their new game, this new hot thing. Oh my god, I was going to compete with freaking Call of Duty Warzone, because now Warzone's a thing, and they wanted it to, they wanted to stand up there with better gunplay. Oh my gosh, look at Search and Destroy, or like Team Deathmatch, and that's what their idea was. So Sparrow has more direct info on this, but some stuff he's gonna say that apparently they did this thing and we didn't know for sure. Everyone had assumed things were happening. It was very obvious Realm was slowing down way too much to just be a decision by any one person. If things were going way too slow, things are beginning to fall apart. It's very obvious that something's wrong. So to this, I'll turn it over to Sporl so he can, again, start off with maybe his idea, an image of Hi-Rez, and then just go into this current situation that has led to, what Realm has happened to Realm.
So, I hate Hi-Rez as a company because, as Blame said, they make great games, they make fantastic IPs, and what I hate more, you can have a bad game. I don't care about it. But when you make, because let me just, because Paladins is an Overwatch clone, Reinhardt is Fernando, do all the memes, but like Overwatch, I like Overwatch. I play Overwatch with friends. It's the anniversary event. I'd like that Dragon Mercy skin. It's nice. I'll play it with friends. But if Overwatch went tomorrow, there's a couple of characters like Roadhog. I'd miss Roadhog, but the world itself, it doesn't matter. It's just people shooting robots. Blizzard don't care. I don't care. If Overwatch disappeared tomorrow, won't care. But what I hate more is when you make a good game and then you fill it with so much potential and you're just like, throw it away. It's gone. Because it's
but like she responds
Drogo,
to Fisty now,
Fernando,
just because it sounds
Goblin,
similar.
Dragon, Knight, little rabbit thing that rides a turtle. Such a beautiful cast of characters. And then you've got such a varied world. The marshes of Bright Marsh, the big castle of Stone Keep, the little ruins of Frog Island, all these locations. So much lore, so much diversity, so much potential. You could take all that. You could make a Skyrim-style game. You could be walking around an open world with your little dragon or your little furry Pip-Boy, and you can make something great. And they threw it away because, as Blame says, they're trend chasers. And because I've seen all their cycle, and you know, when Smite came out, there were big YouTubers like JonTron. They advertised Smite, but then he started looking at Hearthstone. Oh, we want a bit of that Hearthstone pie. Hand of the Gods. And then they started looking at Overwatch. Hand of the Gods is gone. Servers shut down. But those were all little experiments. They never really took off. Smite was never as big as Dota. Hand of the Gods never really as big as Hearthstone. But Paladins did get big. It got real big. It got real popular, and it was good. It had the talent system, the shop cards, the little deck, all that, everything, even the world and the characters. It was all better than Overwatch. And at one point, if only for a few days, when Battleborn absolutely got beat the shit out of by Overwatch and had to go free to play, Paladins then beat the shit out of Battleborn a second time. It captured that free-to-play market. It was gaining so much traction. And if Hi-Rez had just stuck to it, if they'd have just kept pumping money into it, they probably could have rivaled Overwatch. They probably could have done it. I believe they could have. There was a genuine moment where, even if it was only for a moment, people were questioning whether Paladins was going to take down Overwatch. There was all those videos, Overwatch versus Paladins, because it was a talking point. It was nearly the Godslayer. It could have done it. And then Hi-Rez, because they're trend chasers, they looked at Fortnite, and people were like, don't look at Fortnite. You've got the goose here. The goose is laying you a golden egg. Don't look at it. And they looked at it, and they made Realm Royale. And everybody real pissed off, because Paladins had a little bit of a degrading quality since Realm Royale, and people were mad. But somehow, by some miracle, the planets aligned, the stars aligned, all the cosmic entities come together. They said, Hi-Rez, we're going to give you a second chance. It's going to be better than Fortnite. It's no turbo building. And when turbo building came in Chapter 2 of Fortnite, I've stopped playing Fortnite because fuck that turbo building, fuck Chapter 2. People were leaving in droves. And again, no turbo building, healing while moving. There's so many things that make it better than Fortnite. And once again, you got this big fucking fan base that were all like, do it, push. Keep pushing, Hi-Rez. Keep pushing. You're about to take down Fortnite. You're gonna be the epic killer. Keep pushing. But they couldn't. They couldn't because they were looking at Call of Duty Warzone. They were trend chasing again. And they were like, don't do it. Don't do it. Again. And they were like, we're going to do it. And they overspent. And when Rogue Company was being made, we knew that Realm Royale was slowing down in development. And it was obvious that they were doing what they did with Paladins to what they did with Realm. They took a couple of staff, like, oh, you know, we need you to work on the art assets. We're going to take a couple of staff and we're going to put them on Rogue Company. Well, that's what everybody assumed, as it was clear that development was slowing down. Something was going on behind the scenes. And a number that always got flung around was the number 3, because the team at Realm, they were always small. They were always only 10 people. They were never a big team. And the rumor was that 7 of those 10 were put on Rogue Company. So we were left with 3 people to run the servers, to make new battle passes, to do bug fixes, etc., etc. So for a while, everybody's like, oh, 3. And then we got the news. So a streamer who had a partnership with Realm Royale on Twitch had a talk with one of the ex-developers. And the ex-developer told him that Hi-Rez laid off the entire team, all the team, but one guy. When asked why, because they overspent on Rogue Company. All that advertisement for Rogue Company, all them partnerships for the Twitch people, the Mixer people, all the money, all the budget, all the time, the manage, the resources, everything must be spent on Rogue Company. And they overspent. So, oh, well, too bad. That's it. We've overspent. How are we going to make this money back? Oh, yes, 9 of the 10 people at fucking Realm Royale. Pack your desk up. Goodbye. And I hate it because that's what they always do. And the thing that annoys me the most is like, I will bring this up more in my video. Final Fantasy 14. The original version was crap. Nobody liked that original version. Everybody hated Square Enix, just like the 8 iRes, and they fobbed it off onto some guy. He'd never even touched the game, but he was the one that now had to be the public image. And even though he'd done nothing wrong, he stood on stage and he begged. He got on his knees. There is clips on YouTube of him doing it. He got on his hands and knees and he begged the fans, begged them for forgiveness. Like, please, I know it's bad. I know it's bad. I know that Square Enix has done you dirty. I promise you, I guarantee, I promise you, I will make it right. I will. And everybody on that final fucking day, when the world was being destroyed and all the developers were in the server, all trying to kill you, all summoning these big boss monsters to kill you, I was there. I was there on that final day. And when he fucking showed that cutscene where he wiped the world for a Realm Reborn, after that he's like, tell me what's wrong. You know, we've destroyed the world. Bahamut's destroyed the world. Tell me what's wrong. Please, fandom. Please, loyal people that enjoy this game. Tell me what's wrong. I will fix it. And a Realm Reborn is beating World of Warcraft right now. If any of you even know about Final Fantasy 14, you know how popular that game got. You know how close it is to just absolutely decimating World of Warcraft. And he earned that. He earned that. He sat there on his hands and knees. He begged for people to give him that second chance. He had to beg for that second chance. He got it. And he deserves everything that come to 14. He deserves every moment of praise that game gets. Fucking Hi-Rez don't. They got a second chance because fuck you. They didn't deserve that second chance with Realm. They didn't. And somehow they got it. They didn't deserve that second chance. And they didn't have to beg. They didn't have to say sorry. And they got that second chance. And even after they were given that second chance, they threw it all away for some shitty Call of Duty that, by the way, is shit from what people who have played it have said. And where is it? It's not even out yet. Back to blame because I'm going on too long and I'm getting mad just thinking about it.
So yeah, like what I was saying. So ultimately, this is all what boils down to is that Realm had to suffer because they wanted to make Rogue Company. And again, if we're being very blunt, Rogue Company didn't have much of a future, even if things went well. Things had to go well for it to just get off the ground. Things would have to have gone well. Because I told about all this even the other day that you're going into the like the heavy gunplay shooter, somewhat realistic shootery kind of genre. The kings are still there. The kings that make a game every year are still there. Another game is coming out. Another game like Valorant is coming out from another huge another huge company that again does the heavy gunplay kind of play style. You're going into a market that has what it has and is very, very saturated. That you're not gonna go very far unless you get lucky. And the sad part is, Sporo mentioned it, that they were giving another chance at doing something really great with Realm. That's the funny thing with Hi-Rez, that whenever they go out of their way to do something, like Hand of the Gods, like their mobile games, like their thing, or like Rogue Company, whenever they go so far out of their way to do stuff like that, they get nothing from them. They do nothing with them. They always fail. But whenever they just so happen to go like, you know what, let's just make this game. Let's make well, except for Smite. Smite was the exception where they put in a lot of effort because they got rid of because they only had Global Agenda and then they got rid of the Global Agenda IP and everything. Um, so they're like, okay, let's like put all the effort into Smite. Let's do the promote and everything. Smite's where they did that, but then when it came to Paladins, they're like, oh, let's do this thing because uh, you know, we still have all these assets and everything. Oh, look, people are talking a lot about what's it called? I'm not saying they weren't working on a game. Like they were putting effort into like refining these models, working on the engine and stuff like that. Da, 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 da. But they definitely had to have caught wind of Overwatch before they like really solidified the idea. You know? So so then they do that. They do not do that much promotion. How much promotion do you ever really remember seeing of Paladin Spiral? You know?
Not too much. Like it pretty much released at the same time as Overwatch, just to have the advertisement of if you can't afford $60 for Overwatch, we're the free Overwatch.
So you see, they didn't really put that much effort into Paladins, and they still hit something pretty good. They had really something really good. Um, then they do the same thing with Realm. They kind of they literally just put that out just to super trend chase. What's it called? Fortnite. But then they actually did some. They well with the in game mode, they try to just really do the cheapest thing they could and have it running inside Paladin's launcher. Obviously that wasn't working, so like, you know, do we want to bother to try and make a couple more bucks off of it, or do we want to keep trying to like make this a thing, or are we not gonna bother? Da, 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 da. They could have easily just said no, but they actually did put in a little bit more effort to make it its own separate launcher and everything, and they got to work and they hit something good with it. Again, I'm not saying those other games weren't good. Those other games, even the ones that died, except for Rogue Company, you know, had still had their own potential, their own little like neat little things. But you can say that about a lot of games, I guess. Really, it really all boils down to how committed their companies are to like making a really great game. And it feels so sad because people were so willing to give Realm a chance. Realm, even through the thickest part of it, wasn't dying over a month. Like it's like over a couple months. It still has a decent sized player base. It's not some other games where they had some notoriety and then just fell off the face of the earth. Like something like Battleborn, where it went from like tens of thousands of people to just a couple thousand, and then literally to a couple hundred in like the span of nothing. Which bro?
Yeah.
Like it didn't even last a year. I'm pretty sure, right? Battleborn did not even last a year. Not really. Before like it like hit the graveyard. Something like that.
In terms of like actually being online,
Actually, be online. It went over a year, but I mean like playable.
yeah, it was dead by its second anniversary though.
So yeah. Well, actually, okay. Sorry, people there. Sorry, a little hiccup there. So yeah, the whole point being that, again, it would just boils down to again and again because I feel like I'm repeating myself. Hi-Rez is just very bad at realizing how much good, what great things they actually have for them. That they've made and they just don't realize it. Um. So again, I don't think we're gonna see Rogue Company anytime soon if we see it at all. Honestly. So ultimately, what all that frustration for, the thing that Realm basically had to die for, isn't gonna even be born. It's not gonna be released to the public. It's not gonna be. It's definitely not gonna see a resurgence because again, all that hype died down. Everyone's been playing Valorant and fucking Warzone for months now because of coronavirus. Heavily playing them. So either they're dedicated.
Like you said, when you were in Paladins, there was that one guy that's like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for Valorant to open."
which again, Valorant itself is again not a great game. But what I'm saying is that so either all those people are either going to be dedicated or burnt out at this point. There's not going to be any kind of thing for them to really go back to really gain from even releasing Rogue Company at this point. If we're being honest, there's not even much to gain at this point.
Mm.
So, with this video, again, this is us. Just to wrap it up, it's
And we
kind
didn't
of
even touch on Profit, which what an ironic twist of a name calling it Profit, and that's the very thing they're not going to get from that game, which is also in closed alpha, also not released yet. You haven't even finished Rogue Company. You haven't even finished one closed. Sorry, you haven't even finished one closed alpha, and you're already making a second closed alpha. And if we're adding Realm into it, Realm's not even out of beta. You've got a game not out of beta, and you've made a closed alpha, and then you've got a game that's in open beta and closed alpha, and then you made another closed alpha. You've got 3 unfinished games.
Like, I didn't want to talk about Profit because I don't think there's really much to talk about. We've maybe seen like a handful of videos, and we can't play it or try it or anything, so there's not even much point in talking about it. The only reason we're really talking about Rogue Company is because Rogue Company is what kind of made all of this happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, this video is just kind of us saying that's it, really. If Sparrow ever wants to and he ever asks me to, like, I'll hop in to play Realm. I'll still gladly play Realm. But there's not much point in playing Realm, especially not by yourself. Now, if we can't expect anything else, it's still a good game. You can still do things, but again, you need new stuff to do. It's a live service game. You have to have new stuff, or there's nothing to do. You'll have less and less people. The less and less people you have, you be less and less things anybody's able to have fun because there's no one playing. And the sad part is, again, Realm had so much potential. It didn't deserve this. It didn't deserve to die because they decided to make something that they're not even going to release. It didn't deserve to die before it got a chance to really shine, to even be said to be released, because it had a lot going for it.
I had an engineer at one point, and they axed him.
So, again, this is not. If you still want to play Realm, if you see this video, please then play Realm. Maybe if there is by some miracle that Hi-Rez will do a 2.0. It's very, very doubtful. The simple fact that they don't even have a team there to do it if they wanted to, let alone with Corona-chan flying around everywhere, they're not gonna get people. So, again, this unfortunately seems like the way Realm is going to be forever. And again, this was also said by, again, this is what kind of sparked the interest in making this video, for being that the biggest streamer for the game that there ever was, he was always the biggest streamer, was Baggins TV. If you don't know him, go watch him, he's funny. That the other day we watched his video, and he basically came out and said that, yeah, this game, he didn't say it directly, but more or less, if he wanted to be a bit more direct, he basically would have said, yeah, this game is dead because Hi-Rez wanted it to die, basically.
He did say that.
He didn't say that directly, but he
did.
That's
I've
what
got
he
the
meant.
quote. I'm using that quote. He's like, just to be clear, I'm not saying that I killed. Let me just find it. What did it say? Just to be clear, I did not give up on Realm Royale. Hi-Rez gave up on Realm Royale.
But he didn't say that the game is dead. There's a difference between saying that the publisher doesn't care and that the game literally has, nothing else to be worth playing. And unfortunately, though, the game is more or less dead. It's not going to see any new updates. It's not going to receive any, advertisement or any kind of new flush of new people to kind of keep the rotation going. It's it's just not. I'm not sad about the money I spent in this game. I got some neat things that I thought I was gonna keep using at least for a couple years, right? Until either I got bored, maybe decided to shut it down if after it got like fully released. Even though at this point it should have been fully released, you know, etc. etc. Actually, is I because I don't keep up with Fortnite. Is Fortnite still technically like
No,
in beta or some shit?
no. Chapter 2 was its official release.
Okay, yeah. But that went on. You see that even that went on for quite a while. Um. So again, I this isn't goodbye forever, but this is definitely uh a kind of like goodbye for now moment for Realm. Again, not because we want to, just because Hi-Rez made us. Not because of any particular patch or anything. Because this patch is bad. All this shit's broken. Da 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 da. And even in some other videos, when you saw him, like maybe me and Despero just playing or something, you could definitely even hear him when he's complaining that, oh my god, this is broken. Da 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 da. Or oh my god, why don't they remove this shit? Or da 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 da. Nerf this stuff. But no, it wasn't even because of that. Anything like that. And that kind of stuff can easily ruin a game too. It was literally just for the simple fact that Hi-Rez just didn't care anymore. Not the developers. The developers loved the game. The fact that Hi-Rez Expo, that they were still so happy and wanting to see people playing the game last year, last year when they had the Hi-Rez Expo, and you know, and then again, still to just get most of them just be gone. It's really sad. So, any final thoughts, Mr. Bro, real quick, just to wrap it up?
I mean, no, not really. It's pretty much what you said. Like, I say I'll come back to it. I won't leave it. Because I'm going to say in my video, I was there when Final Fantasy XIV died, and I'll be here when this dies. I'll do a stream on the very last day. I will witness the true end times. I mean, I know it's not going to be this grand spectacle. We're all just going to be sitting around. The most we can hope for is all 100 people just walking around together. Try and get 100 people in the final circle of the final ever match, and then it'll just be like, no, that's it. Servers are dead. I'll still be around, but yeah, Hi-Rez just kind of forced everyone's hand. They just said, nah, you can play it if you want, but we ain't going to touch that. And you say you're not sad about spending the money. No, it's not. You shouldn't be sad. You had some good times. You should be angry, though. You should be mad. I'm very mad at Hi-Rez. I aside from like my outburst, I should be a lot more outbursty than I should, and I will be in my video. Because I'm not going to hold back. But, yeah. That's it. I mean, I'll play, well, by the time you're watching this video, you will, but what you're watching on screen, this is our final games for now. We'll go into one after the audio. We'll record the footage, but this is it. This is your final last look. Enjoy.
So yeah, again, last word, just saying, if anybody sees this video, go watch more videos. His channel is always in the description. Again, if you want to go see his video on the stuff, which hopefully by the time you see this, it'll be up by whatever point that is. But yeah. But other than that, this has been me, Blame Others.
And me, Insane Spyro.
Yeah, and hope for all of you who played. I hope you had lots of fun in the realm. Oh, and just a little side note. Sorry for those weird noises that ended up in the audio recording. I'm not gonna be able to remove that. That'd be some very awkward editing. I pushed stuff. I pushed stuff on when I was waiting for Sparrow to finish his part of the video. So sorry about that. But either way, yeah. Goodbye.